Hello everyone, my name is Madison Flodine, and I figured I would make a kind of what to expect, what to bring, helpful tips for when you are hopefully attending the MQHA 4-H Bootcamp for 2021. So, first and foremost, if you haven't signed up yet, I would recommend you do so ASAP. It is June 15th, 16th, and 17th in Ferndale, Minnesota. This is one of the sheets that you will fill in. There's a WSCA show following on Friday the 18th. Now, since it is after June 1st, there is a late fee. You can see in the yellow that there's an additional $50 late fee, and you can find more information at the Minnesota Quarter Horse go-to events or like their calendar, and then that'll show you boot camp, and then you can find a PDF with the registration information. So now that that's out of the way, what should you bring? So first and foremost is your horse and all of the tack and feed that you will be needing for either the 3 or 4 days. You also can, and whenever I attended boot camp as a youth participant, I would come Monday night and then, have that Monday to kind of get my horse used to everything and prepare, get everything organized. So you'll want your saddle, or plural saddles and bridles, your saddle pads, blankets for your horse just in case it's cold. I know here in Minnesota, North Dakota area, it has been in like the 90s for the past, week or so that probably sounds a little crazy. However, Minnesota weather has taught us to always, pack extra. So just in case it's cold, bring a blanket for your horse. If you would like washing and brushing supplies, there are wash racks available to you. They're pretty nice. They redid some of them. Buckets for water and feed, as well as tie straps. You don't want your buckets just sitting on the ground. I suppose if you have like a miniature or like a really small horse, you might have to like have it really low, but you still don't want it resting on the ground. Water buckets and feed buckets should be the horse's chest height. You don't want them any lower just in case they get their foot messed up in there. For hay, how much you should bring, I always estimate approximately half a hay bale, like a small square hay bale, per day per horse. Also, I would recommend having a hay bag or a hay net, depending on what is legal for 4-H. I haven't checked the rules on that recently, but I would recommend bringing one of those. Stall cleaning supplies, having a shovel or fork, whatever you prefer. I believe when you get to boot camp, there are 2 bags of shavings that I think are supplied to your stall. I think they're all 12 by 12 stalls, and I think they have mats in them. However, you are going to be doing a lot of riding. So to help your horse not be sore, and also just to make it comfortable for them, I would start probably with an additional 2 bags, so a total of 4, and maybe even like 6 in there. And then I would purchase another 1 or 2 each day to replenish, because as you are cleaning the stall, you'll inevitably take some shavings with you, so you want to replenish those. And also, you can make your shavings last longer, because when your horse lays down to sleep and walks on them, they'll kind of compress them. So if you take your fork, once you've cleaned, if you take your fork and kind of fluff the shavings, that'll help too. And also, your horse's vaccination information needs to be current, so any vaccination forms and sheets that you have for your horse need to be brought with you. For youth, you want your riding attire, so you need jeans, long pants, no shorts. You need riding boots that have a heel. We don't want anyone riding in like tennis shoes. And you also need your helmet. For helmet fit, we almost always check that, so expect us to do it again for everyone, for you safety. So fit wise, when you put the helmet on your head, before you buckle it, it should be snug but not too tight. And if you gently kind of look side to side, your helmet shouldn't like wobble off your head. And when you buckle the straps under your chin, you should be able to get 2 fingers underneath, no more, no less. I would recommend you bring a notebook and pencil. We'll discuss that later. For 2021, you know, COVID-19 has done oh wait, I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Anyway, for 2021, you probably want to bring a face mask and cleaning supplies, just in case. Obviously, that is up to everyone's own preference. I would recommend bringing it just in case. And then whatever else you need for after riding. So, how do you prepare at home? First and foremost is to make a list. So you want to pack your trailer ahead of time. You don't want to, the day of or the morning of, be throwing things into your trailer, or if you're carpooling with someone, into their trailer, if you can help it. So what I like to do is take all of my equipment out of the trailer in the spring or the first time I go somewhere and clean all of it. And whenever I pack for shows, I'll remove everything from the trailer, set it out like on the ground or on a saddle rack, and with my list, check off as I put things into the trailer. I also like to pre-bag my grain, or if I have supplements with me. That way, when I get there, I'm not carrying around like a giant 50-pound bag of feed, and it's in a Ziploc bag, so you know, you're not worrying about water getting in there or anything like that. And also having hay set aside. I always feel it's better safe than sorry to just toss an extra hay bale in there if you can. As far as hay storage, if you can, either the box of your pickup with a like roll cover is really handy, or I don't like to have hay in my tack room because then it just gets everywhere. And I also wouldn't recommend bringing it in and just setting it next to your stall, because other horses walking by can eat it, and you know. So I would recommend when you get to your destination, cleaning out like the back stall of your trailer and lining up your hay in there, and then taking from your trailer and filling your hay bags from there. So, who are the instructors for 2021? There are still 2 that have not been announced, but all the rest for the different events have been. And if you check the MQHA 4-H Bootcamp Facebook page, you can read up more information on them, kind of their background, where they're from, what they do. So yeah, if you want to find more information just in general about the Minnesota Quarter Horse 4-H Bootcamp, that would be a great place to go. Now this year we will be having, again, the NDSU equestrian team for private/semi-private lessons. These are normally short sessions. In past years they've been for an hour, but it's likely, since they're so popular, we normally have people, we'll set out the sign-up sheet on Tuesday, and within like an hour, all the slots have been filled because they're very popular. So I think this year they're going to try and have shorter sessions to get in more people. However, you know, things may change. So just keep an eye out for that. Normally it's groups of 4 people, and it's outside. They set up a additional arena for the NDSU equestrian team to use. Again, sign up is available Tuesday at Bootcamp in the office, and they are able to help with general horsemanship and riding skills, as well as more advanced things. But I would make sure you have one thing in mind that you want to work on, whether it's trying to get a lead, working on pivots, or, things along those lines. So, how to get the most out of your time with the instructors. So, the classes are split into 3 groups. So there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced group. Normally, the beginner and intermediate groups are slightly larger than the advanced. And it's also possible, depending on the size of the arena, how many people there are, and the clinician's thoughts on the day, whether it will be everybody in the arena at the same time, or if we're going to split and have some people in for an hour and then the other section in for the next hour. But either way, no matter what, I would recommend first and foremost that you watch other people. You can learn a ton of information just by watching others, and especially if you are in the beginner or intermediate groups, watching the advanced group will help you a ton. So, when you're working with the instructors, feel free to ask questions either of the clinician themselves or the volunteers. So if they ask you one-on-one or even in a large group, if they have everyone do the same thing or you do something separate from the rest of the group, you might want to ask why, and does it work for everybody equally? Does it help with certain things? What does it do? Why are we doing this? Because that will help you, first off, better remember it, and second, know when to do it at home when you don't have someone else there helping you, or even if you do have someone else helping you, when to do it. And lastly is to take notes. So when you get done with your section, I would recommend writing down, if you have time, or at least at the end of the day, write down some of the things that you learned. And, again, for the asking questions, when did you do it, why did you do it, and what does it do, are really important. So it's also possible, depending on how much time clinicians and volunteers have and just how busy we are, that they might be willing to help you with one-on-one later in the day or the following morning if they're there for more than one day. Expect it just to be something really quick for like a couple minutes, but sometimes you can get a lot done in that time. Or you can also ask them about lessons after boot camp. So you can ask them where they're located or if they would recommend anyone in your area. So, how to prepare the morning or night before. First and foremost, have your tack organized and ready. When you get to boot camp, they will hand you a manila folder, and inside you're going to have name tags. And if the coloring system is the same, beginners are blue, intermediate will be yellow, and advanced will be like a pinky red kind of color. And it will have your name on it. And please put it on both sides of your saddle pad. That's so when you're going both directions in the arena, the volunteers and clinicians know your name and who you are. Because it can be really difficult when there's like 50 people going around in the arena together to remember who everybody is. I would make sure to get up the morning of to either like warm up and stretch out and ride your horse. Just like you in a new place, or if your horse isn't used to being stalled, they might have some extra energy or they might be just a little stiff, so it's good to give them that opportunity in the morning. Also, give your horse plenty of time to eat and drink before your session. I always like to wake up early to do the above things, and normally that means my alarm goes off at 5:30ish, and I'm out the door like 15 minutes after. Normally, if you pre-plan your clothes so you know where they are, that way when you're, you know, in the dark trying to figure out what you're doing, you can find stuff. And also having just like a quick snack, like a granola bar or an apple or something, just like right away in the morning, that helps wake you up. Also, it can be really dusty, and this year so far it has been very dry, so I would also recommend allergy meds just in case. Oh, and I forgot, the most important thing is to get some sleep. I know it's been a very long time since some of us have been able to participate in the larger 4-H events, and you all want to see and talk and make new friends, but you want to get some sleep so you are awake and able to remember information for the next day. 8:30, 9 o'clock in your camper hotel room getting ready for bed or already in bed is probably the safest bet. Or earlier if you're younger. Listen to your parents. And lastly is to reflect on your day. Again, goals, questions, and what you learned. Write that stuff down. So what should you expect? A little bit more. So it's 2-hour time slots. So gaming events are, in the past, have been outside at the outdoor arena. So if you're anticipating being outside, bring sunscreen and put it on. However, Verndale has built a third arena. I haven't seen it, so I don't know exactly what's up, but it's possible things might be arranged a little differently. But either way, it's 2-hour time slots for each division, either beginner, intermediate, or advanced. And so you will have a maximum of 3 sessions per day. So an example of that would possibly be riding in English pleasure, horsemanship, and keyhole. So if you only ride in pleasure events or only ride in game events, you will not have all 3. However, it is possible that you could if you ride in both. And they have it set out so you will be able to attend all 3. That does mean, of course, though, if you only participate in games or pleasure, that you will have 1 to 2 time slots or divisions that you won't have a class. And that's the perfect time to go and watch people, because even if you don't ride in that discipline, sometimes you can learn stuff that will help. So other activities and events. So this is a little bit different from years past. Tuesday will be a educational talk / demo. I believe it is involving the Young Horse program through MQHA as well as the 4-H training project. And Wednesday, rather than Thursday, will be the fashion show. That is because this year the MQHA youth will not be attending. However, I think we're still going to try and have like games and things for the youth to do. We're still working on it, but it'll go well. It'll be fun. So if you are staying for the WSCA show on Friday, beyond just your regular equipment, you will want to have your show attire as well as band, clip, or just rewash it, at minimum your horse's legs, just to get all the dirt and dust off of them beforehand, as well as possibly cleaning off your saddles and equipment, for sure your boots, before Thursday. Also, if you or your horse are really tired, or if, you know, you might be a little bit sore if you're not used to riding and suddenly you're riding 2 to 4 hours, 6 hours a day for 3 days straight, you might be a little bit sore. So, you know, there's always other shows. You can always attend, you know, a different show. So listen to your horse and you. That's all I have.